The precise moment Julian Voss stepped into the glow of the spotlight was when I knew I had her. The crowd gasped in unison as he clipped the mic to his tailored velvet suit. Phones shot up, women squealed, and a swarm of drones hummed overhead, capturing every second in crisp 4K for Vanessa's private livestream. Floodlights bathed the platform. The trellis shimmered with crystal roses imported from Italy, and the violin trio paused their strings to usher in the star. Julian Voss, the Julian Voss, drew a breath, leaning in to serenade the bride down the aisle. That's when I hit the switch. Pop darkness swallowed the lights. The audio gear coughed and died, and the mist machine erupted, blasting a thick plume of white fog into the stunned guests. Screams pierced the air, phones clattered to the ground. A drone smashed into a pyramid of flutes. Vanessa's crowning triumph morphed into a chaotic, blackout-driven spectacle in an instant, and it was beautiful. But let's backtrack. Drop your town below. I'm curious how far this tale has traveled. 10 hours earlier, I was savoring a quiet morning on my porch in Willow Bend, a sleepy hamlet nestled against the foothills of eastern Oregon. Black coffee steamed in my mug, my inbox sat empty, and the only sound was the chatter of sparrows. No honking, no hustle. Then the rumble began, trucks, bass lines, hammering, voices barking orders. I shuffled to the window and nearly choked on my brew. My backyard, my 3.1-acre, deed-in-my-name backyard, had been hijacked. It looked like a spread from a high-end wedding glossy. Rows of ivory chairs, a floral trellis towering over my shed, stage rigging, catering pavilions, a full platform. People swarmed the scene, florists, techs, caterers, even a guy with a sound boom. And there, reigning over it all, was her. Vanessa, president of the Pinecrest Homeowners Association, local dictator, and perpetual splinter in my heel. She clutched a clipboard, yapping into a headset like she was directing a Hollywood blockbuster. I yanked on jeans, boots, and a jacket, then charged outside. "Vanessa!" I bellowed over the din. "What in God's name is this?" She spun around, flashing that reptilian grin. "Oh, Parker, good morning. Isn't it stunning? Don't fret. We'll tidy up after." "Well, mostly." I stared dumbfounded. "You threw a damn wedding in my yard without asking?" She flicked a hand. "Don't be so theatrical. This is our shared space. We floated the idea at last month's meeting." "You mentioned a park?" I snapped. "Not my property. This is trespassing." Her expression didn't flinch. "Parker, let's be honest. This isn't about lines on a map. It's about spirit, vision. My daughter deserves a flawless day, and with the venue in Crestwood underwater, I improvised. This," she swept an arm across my grass like it was her estate, "is ideal. I never signed off on this." Vanessa sighed, as if I were a petulant kid. "Parker, this is my only girl's wedding. 200 guests are coming. Do you want to be the sour neighbor who spoils it? You're invited front row. Julian Voss is singing." My jaw tightened. "You dragged a chart-topping soul singer onto my land without a word." "Friend of a friend," she chirped. "Very exclusive, no fee. Think of it as a rare treat for Pinecrest. You'll love the vibe. It might lift your spirits." I didn't reply. I just turned and stalked back to my house, was already spinning. Vanessa had miscalculated twice that morning. First, she assumed I'd roll over. Second, she didn't know I'd spent years as a grid engineer, tweaking shutdown code for power networks like the one she tapped into without a clue. How dare she? That question had been clawing at me for hours. Vanessa didn't just cross a line. She tap-danced over it in stilettos, laughing all the way. This wasn't merely an unapproved wedding. It was a power grab. Earlier, she'd stood on my soil, decked out like a TV host, waving to her audience. "Welcome, everyone!" Her voice had boomed through speakers juiced by my electricity. "This is the event of the year, and we're thrilled to have Julian Voss here tonight." The crowd roared. The DJ pumped the volume. A drone swooped for the perfect shot. She spotted me on my deck and had the gall to smirk, yelling in her mic. Even Parker's thrilled. "Thanks for lending us your gorgeous land, neighbor." I didn't wave. I didn't fume outwardly. I plotted, because I didn't just feel the power, I controlled it. Not poetically, but literally. I'd coded failsafes for this grid a decade ago, flaws the county never patched. So I waited until Julian Voss, the velvet-clad soul legend, strutted down the aisle to croon the bride in. The lights softened, the crowd hushed, the music swelled, and click. I triggered the kill switch from my phone. Blackout. A spark popped from the stage lights. The DJ's console crackled with smoke. A drone plummeted into a tray of shrimp skewers. Shrieks erupted. Phones lit up but found no signal. The Wi-Fi was fried. No sound, no glow, just chaos and the acrid whiff of singed petals and melted cables. Vanessa stood rigid, a broken doll. What? What happened? She screeched, head swiveling. Why is it off? A tech yelled. It's not us. The grid's dead. No backup, nothing. She faced the crowd, forcing a wobbly smile. Just a glitch, folks, a quick breather. Then the rain hit, a cruel drizzle, turning her pristine aisle to sludge. Guests shielded themselves with $500 coats. Attendants clutched drenched updos. Someone toppled a chair row. Her dream unraveled fast. I stepped onto my deck, arms crossed, locking eyes with her. She saw me. Confusion, then fury, then dread. You, she mouthed. I stayed silent. This wasn't just a blackout. It was a domino fall. I'd already phoned the town, flagged the rogue event. Zoning breaches, illegal commerce on private land. As I watched, 2 Willow Bend inspectors arrived, rain-slicked and clipboard ready. Game over. Vanessa slogged through the mire in heels, flailing at them. This is a mistake. It's private. No, ma'am. One said, scanning the soggy stage. This is an unpermitted commercial gig. No exits, no fire plan. Her lip quivered. It's my daughter's wedding. Shut it down, he replied, before someone's hurt. Julian Voss stormed past, yanking out his earpiece. This is amateur nonsense, he growled, tossing it into a puddle. Wait, Vanessa grabbed him. He pulled free. Your HOA circus just tanked my rep online. He bolted. Guests followed, drenched and fuming, filming the wreckage.
Vanessa whirled on me, mascara streaking, shoes squelching. You did this, she shrieked, stomping toward my deck. You ruined the best day of my life. I leaned on the rail. No, Vanessa, you did. I just flipped the switch and let them see you. Her jaw fell slack. Behind her, inspectors slapped red tape on her trellis, and a news van rolled up. This wasn't just a botched wedding. It was her public reckoning. She stood rooted in the mud, one heel sinking, the other wobbling. Bridesmaids huddled under a tent like refugees. The DJ cursed his drowned gear. Julian's SUV peeled out, tires spraying to feet. I stayed calm, arms folded, watching her empire burn like a blaze I'd sparked in a shack I despised. The news van door slammed. Vanessa flinched as Lena Hart, a sharp-eyed anchor from Willow Bend's top station, stepped out. Not some rookie, but the kind who chased real scandals. Vanessa Lyle, Lena called, mic poised. Care to comment on claims you misused HOA funds for this and illegally hosted a commercial event here? Vanessa blinked, dazed, as if her reign hadn't just collapsed into soggy ruin. It's twisted, she stammered. It was for the community. Lena arched a brow. With a celebrity act and a $3,000 bar bill, I almost pitted her. Almost. She glared at me, teeth bared. You think this ends here? I met her stare, icy. Vanessa, it's just starting. While she'd been wooing Julian with HOA cash, I'd been digging. Receipts she'd pocketed, signatures from neighbors she'd fined for nonsense, fake permits she'd mocked up. I'd called in every favor with town hall. Inspectors scribbled tickets until their pens ran dry. Vendors confessed she'd stiffed them. A bystander muttered, fraud? Another growled, she fined me for a birdhouse. Hope she's locked up. Then Gabe showed up, the last sane HOA board member. Umbrella in one hand, coffee in the other. He said, You really did it, Parker. I nodded. Had to. He sighed. When she booked Voss, I drafted my resignation. But this... He eyed the muddy chaos, the toppled trellis, the shattered glass. We need an audit. It's coming, I said. He grinned. Emergency meeting Monday. First vote, her removal. Second, disbanding the HOA. I smirked. Vanessa stood alone in the field, soaked, trembling. Her daughter had vanished. Her guests fled. Her cloud evaporated. She glared up at me, venomous. "You'll pay for this." I stepped down, closing the gap through the muck. "No, Vanessa, you will. For every fine, every sneer, every grab at what's mine. Today's not your daughter's ruined day. It's your reputation's burial. You dug the grave." I walked off. She didn't chase. The Queen of Pinecrest had just been toppled. At 6:58 a.m., Gabe called. "Parker, get out here." I hit the porch as two black town cars crept down the lane. No sirens, just intent. One was code enforcement. The other bore the DA seal. They parked at Vanessa's Tudor-style house. Two suits climbed out, folders in hand, not here to chat but to charge. One knocked. The other filmed. Vanessa answered, makeup fresh, pearls gleaming, clinging to control. "Vanessa Lyle," one said, flashing a badge, "with the city and DA. We need to discuss criminal probes tied to your HOA role." She babbled, missteps, paperwork mix-ups, harassment, but they didn't bite. A subpoena landed, then a warrant. They seized ledgers, laptops, HOA files. Gabe and two ex-board members arrived later, handing over my haul. Sham invoices, checks to her dummy firm, a forged permit claiming my land as communal, emails tying HOA funds to Julian's fee. She'd faked my signature. My lawyer pounced. Property fraud. By 4 p.m., a town official taped a condemned event zone sign to my fence. Noise violations, unpermitted commerce, trespass for profit, fake fire safety docks. At 6:45 p.m., an email pinged. Vanessa Lyle, criminal review. The DA had it all. Felony fraud, forgery, fund theft, trespass, tax evasion. Bail would soar, assets freeze, her name blacklisted statewide. Her reign was ash. That night, I peered through the pines. Her curtains gaped. She sat at her table, wine spilled, paper strewn, scribbling frantically. Alone. Tomorrow, she'd wake a felon. Morning broke still, too still. I sipped dark roast on my deck, tasting the storm's edge. Vanessa's door stayed shut, car unmoved, blinds down, as if hiding could stall fate. At 9:14 a.m., a cruiser and sedan rolled in. No rush, no noise, just purpose. An arrest. I stood, coffee aside, as neighbors peeked out, filming. 2 deputies approached her door. 3 knocks. "Vanessa Lyle, Willow Bend Sheriff's Office. We have a warrant." "Open up." Silence. I grinned. She'd never go easy. Then the door creaked. She emerged, robe askew, shades on, hair wild, makeup smeared from a night of dread. "A mistake," she croaked. "Felony fraud, misrepresentation, trespass," a deputy said. "You're under arrest." "No," she hissed. "I made this town." "You exploited it," he countered. "Turn around." She froze and wilted. Cuffs snapped on. Her robe parted, flashing a silk blouse. Her last gasp at power. She tripped down the steps, into the car. Phones caught it all. By 10 a.m., her mugshot hit local chats. By noon, her for sale sign sprouted notes. Karma's sweet, rot in court, Vanessa. The HOA remnant disowned her. Gabe moved to dissolve it, nabbing 200 signatures in hours. The DA listed charges to the press. 3 fraud counts, $40,000 siphoned, forgery, trespass for profit, grid misuse, fake safety docks. Bail was steep, she couldn't pay. That night, I walked my land, no noise, no lights, just earth. I paused where her trellis once loomed, watching the sun dip. A voice called, "Parker, you freed us." I didn't reply. This wasn't heroism. It was justice holding firm. I lit a fire, burned the last wedding scraps, and breathed free air. No Vanessa, just peace.